up and down and back. Palms can be up in the lap or palms down, your choice. And then I invite you to close your eyes. Start to soften through the face, softening between the brows. Make sure you're not clenching your teeth. And maybe even take the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. And then just start to notice the breath. Inhaling through the nostrils, letting the breath fill up the body. And then exhaling through the nostrils as well. And if you have any intentions that you'd like to offer up for your practice today, I invite you to do that now. And maybe come back to that intention at some point during your practice. Good. Starting to engage that Ujjayi breath, getting that slight constriction in the back of the throat, making the breath almost audible. And I invite you during this hour just to get out of your head and into your body by focusing on what your body's feeling, focusing on your breath, and not having judgment if thoughts start to creep back in, but just being gentle with yourself, setting those thoughts aside, and just trying to come back to the breath, come back to the movement. Good. Take 5 more rounds of breath here. Full inhales and full exhales. And whenever you have finished that 5th breath, no rush to get there, take your time. We'll slowly start to open the eyes, come back into your space. Good, and on the inhale, let's take those arms overhead, take the gaze up towards the hands, nice long spine, and then exhale, twist over to the right side. Inhale back through center. And then exhale, twist over to the left, sitting up tall to the spine, engaging the core here, bringing the belly button towards the spine. And just gently take the gaze over that left shoulder. Good. Inhale back to center, take the gaze up, and then exhale, bring those hands to touch at heart center. Okay, we're going to come up into our hands and knees, making our way to a tabletop position, setting up the foundation, lining up wrist under shoulders, and then knees under hips. Good. Start to push the mat away or push the surface that you're practicing on away from you. Elongate through the sides of the neck. Good. And we'll lower the belly on the inhale. Take the gaze up through cow. And then we'll reverse round the back. Take the gaze inward for cat. Really feeling that stretch through the back. Maybe shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Good. And then we'll start to take that movement here. Inhaling and exhaling. And I invite you to close your eyes here too. And at any moment, maybe when your focus starts to turn to the mind, and those thoughts start to run, close your eyes and see if that helps to focus on your breath and what you're feeling in your body. Good. Add in any movements here. You can take the gaze over to one hip and then the other. You can create some movement, moving forward and back on the mat. Or create circles, moving in one direction and then the other. Just kind of warming up the body, warming up the spine. Good. Take one more, cat and cow, or whichever movement that you're doing right now. Good, and then we'll bring the knees wide to the edge of the mat. Big toes to touch. Walk the hands long in front of you and just rest the forehead in child's pose. Good, know that this is kind of like a home-based pose. You can come back to this pose at any time when the breath gets a little bit choppy, or you just need to slow things down for a moment. Good, 2 more breaths here in your child's pose. Good, and then we'll start to pick up the head, start to press into the hands, bring the knees back under the hips, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Good, first down dog, you might be feeling a little bit tight through the backs of the legs. Go ahead and pedal the feet if that feels good. Bending one knee and then the other. And then eventually making your way to stillness whenever you're ready. Good, thinking about melting the heart towards the mat. Gaze goes between the feet towards the back of the mat or the back of your room. Good, take 3 rounds of breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Big inhale here. Exhale, release. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take the gaze forward. Come onto the balls of the feet. Get a stretch. Bend the knees. And then just simply walk the feet to the front of the mat, coming to your forward fold. Good. Let everything hang here. Separate the feet about hip-width distance apart. And we can place the thumbs into the elbow creases and just rock a little bit from side to side. Again, if you're feeling any tension in your neck, shake the head yes, shake the head no. Just visualize that tension rolling off the shoulders and out of the body. Good. Let's go ahead and lower the hands back towards the mat. Heel toe the feet so they're almost touching. We'll come to half lift here. So we can bring fingers to our shins or to the mat or to a block if you have one. Good, elongating through the crown of the head here. Nice flat back. We're engaging the belly here, pulling the belly button towards the spine. Good, exhale, release it down. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. This time, inhale, root into the feet and come all the way up slowly. Arms are the last thing to reach overhead. Good, nice stretch here, maybe even a little back bend if that feels good to start. And then exhale, bring those hands to touch at heart center. Good, standing at attention here. I invite you to close your eyes again. Good, maybe come back to that intention. Come back to the breath. Good, exhale, lower the hands by your side. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale, fold it down. Inhales, half lift. Exhales, plant the hands, step it back, come to high plank here. Always the option to start out on your knees if you'd like. Good. So we're keeping our butts out of the air here. We're spreading the fingers nice and wide, and we're trying to utilize the strength of the entire body here. So we're not dumping all of the weight into the arms. Good. Keep breathing here. Good, 3 more breaths just to warm up the core. Good, and then next, inhale, lift the hips back to downward facing dog. Good, inhale here. Exhale, let it go. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Good, next inhale, come to the balls of the feet, take the gaze forward, and then hop or step to the front of the mat. Inhales, half lift. Exhales to fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms reach overhead, and then exhale, fold it back down. Inhales, half lift. Exhales, plant the hands, hop or step the feet back. You're hopping, make sure your elbows are bent. We're protect those joints. Good. Shift the weight forward, lower, chaturanga, and come all the way down to the belly. Good. Keep the hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift to cobra. So we're using the back muscles here. Exhale, release to the chin or forehead. Good. Let's take the hands wide off of your mat. We're going to tense the fingers on the ground. Push into the fingers and peel the chest off the mat for a nice little heart opener here. And you should get a little belly stretch too. Good. Exhale, release it down. Good. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. Inhale for cobra, and then go ahead and float the hands just above the mat. Good. Exhale, release to the chin or the forehead. Good. Walk the hands a little further back towards the ribs, and then we'll push into the hands, coming to up dog here. Good. Option the thighs, taking the gaze forward, and then exhales, downward facing dog. Good. We'll start to flow our sun sal A here and get into a rhythm, matching our movement and our breath. When you're ready, on the inhale, come to the balls of the feet. Take the gaze forward. Walk or float the feet forward, fold. Inhales, half lift. Exhales to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhales, fold it back down. Inhales, half lift. Exhales, plant the hands. Step or float it back. Always an option to add in a little push-up if you'd like. And know that you can skip the chaturanga altogether and come straight to downward facing dog. Good. Big inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, float the feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhales, fold it back down. Inhales, half lift. Exhales, plant the hands, step or hop it back. Good. Lower chaturanga. Inhales, up dog or cobra. And exhales, downward facing dog. Good. Let's do that again. Inhale, come to the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, take the gaze forward, walk or float. Inhales, half lift. Exhales to fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhales, fold it back down. Inhales, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, float it, step it back. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhales, downward facing dog. Good. Take a few breaths here. You can either come to child's pose or stay in your down dog. Taking 3 deep breaths. Good. We're going to move into our sun sal B next. Good. When you're ready, and no rush to get there, take a nice deep inhale. Come to the balls of the feet. Bend the knees. Walk or float the feet forward. Fold. Inhales, half lift. Exhales to fold. Inhale. This time, rise up. Chair pose. Good. So we're really sitting those hips back. We're reaching the arms forward here. Most of the weight should be in the heels here. You can pick up all 10 toes and then set them back down. Good. Keep breathing. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. Starting to warm up the legs. You're starting to feel some of that heat. It's not the heat of the yoga studio, but we'll take it. It's our own body heat. Good. And then exhale, fold it down. Inhales, half lift. Exhales, plant the hands, step it back. Take your vinyasa if you'd like. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Next, inhale. Take that right leg into the sky. Bend the knee. Open up the hip. Good. Inhale to lengthen it back. 3-legged. Good. Inhale. Bring the knee towards the nose. Step it through. Lower the back heel at an angle and rise. Warrior 1. Good. Breathe here. Find your drishti, that place to gaze to help you focus your intention inward. Good, keep breathing. Good, exhale, lower the hands, step it back, high plank, option to float that right leg, lowering, inhaling, and exhaling. Good, next inhale, take that left leg into the sky, bend the knee, open up the hip, inhale, back to three-legged, exhale, knee to nose, and step it through, rise, warrior one. Good, sinking into your warrior one. Finding that drishti again. Inviting that right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. Big inhale here. And then exhale, lower the hands. Step it back, option to float that left foot if you'd like. Remembering they're all just options. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. Good, that first sun salvi will start to pick up the pace here. Take the inhale forward. Good, walk or float. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, chair pose. Good, sit the hips back. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant. Good, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through, rise, warrior one. Exhale, right back down. Lowering, inhaling, and exhaling. Inhale, left leg lifts. Knee to nose, step it through, rise, warrior one. Exhale, right back down. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, take the gaze forward, walk or float. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, come to chair pose. Sit the hips back. Maybe this time lift the heels. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Lower. Inhale. And exhale. Good, inhale, take that right leg high. Knee to nose, step it through, warrior one. Exhales, back down. Good, inhale, left leg lifts. Knee to nose, step it through, warrior one. Exhales, right back down. Good, move through that suntail B one more time on your own. And maybe even close your eyes at some points. Trying to match your movement to your breath. Trying to let go of any distractions behind you or around you. And move at your own pace. Feel free to add anything in or take anything out. Good, and whenever you have finished your sunsal B, we'll come back to a child's pose. Take your time, no rush getting there. We're resting our forehead, walking the hands long to the front of the mat, slowing down the breath a little bit here. Just giving thanks for getting our heart rate up, getting our blood flowing. Good. Take 2 or 3 more rounds of breath in your child's pose. Keep breathing. Let the breath fill up the entire body. And then exhale, let it go. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and make our way back to our downward facing dog. Good, lifting the hips high. Pressing the heels towards the mat, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Good, take a deep breath here. Exhale, let it go. Good. Next, inhale, take that right leg into the sky. Good. Exhale, bring the right knee towards the right elbow. Hold there. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, this time bring the right knee across to the left elbow. Hold there. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, knee to nose and step it through. Lower the back knee and come into your low lunge. Good. Arms reaching towards the ceiling, sinking into that front leg. Just getting a good stretch. Good. Exhale, plant the hands and go ahead and start to straighten through that right leg. Coming into our half split. Good. If you need to bend the knee a little bit to come out of it and then come back in, you can too. Good. Come forward into that lunge again. Bring the arms overhead. Good. Exhale the hands to heart center. And then we're going to hook the left elbow onto the right knee, coming into a twist. So we're taking the gaze towards the right. Good. Stay here. Otherwise, you can tuck the back toes and lift the bottom knee. Good. Maybe even open the arms floor to ceiling if that feels good. We're challenging our strength here in some of these standing poses. Good. On the inhale, unwind, come to crescent lunge. If you don't have that back knee lifted, go ahead and do so. Strong back leg. Back heel is lifted. Relax the shoulders down and breathe. Good. From here, airplane the arms behind you. Hover the torso over that front thigh. Good. Inhale, back to crescent. Do that one more time. Exhale, arms behind you. Hover the torso over that front thigh. Inhale, back to crescent. And then exhale, lower the hands, step it back. Take your vinyasa if you'd like. Inhaling. And then exhale. Good. Take a good breath here. Big inhale. Big exhale. Good. Let's take that left leg into the sky on the inhale. Good. From here, take that left knee over to the left elbow. Inhale to lift. Good. Now take the knee across the body to the right elbow. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose. And then step it through. Lower the back knee and then rise up into your low lunge. Good. Sinking into the lunge. Breathing here. Find that drishti. Maybe even close your eyes for a moment. See what that feels like, how that tests the balance, even in a pose like this. Good. From here, exhale, lower the hands, frame that foot, and then we'll go ahead and sit the hips back, coming in to our half split on the other side. Let the head and neck release. You can always bend the knee again, and then come back to the half split. Good, let's bend through that front knee again. Bring the arms overhead, sink into the lunge again. Take the gaze up. And then we'll take the hands to heart center. Go ahead and hook that right elbow onto the left leg, coming into your twist on the other side. Good, continue to breathe here. Good, and then we're going to tuck the back toes if you'd like. Lift that back knee. Really testing our strength. Good, and then we're going to transition back to that crescent lunge. Arms reach towards the ceiling. Good, inner thighs are squeezing towards one another. Make sure that back leg is doing the work too. Good, let's airplane the arms behind you. Hover the torso over that front thigh. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hover the torso, airplane the arms. Inhale, come back up. One more time, airplane. Inhale to lift, and then exhale, lower the hands, frame the foot, step it back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Next move here, we're gonna go ahead on the inhale, take that right leg back into the sky. Good, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it back up. Do that again, knee to nose. Think cat pose as you round to the back. Inhale, lift it up. Good, knee to nose. This time, step it through, and we're gonna rise to our crescent lunge. Good, bring those hands to touch at heart center. Tip the weight forward, hovering over that front thigh, and we'll come back to our twist. Good, always the option to open the arms, floor to ceiling if you'd like. Good, inhale back to center. Take the arms overhead. Good, from here, we're gonna airplane the arms behind us, but kick off that back leg. Good, airplane pose, warrior three. Good, find the earth gently behind you, come back to crescent lunge. Cactus the arms, dip the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Come back to that warrior three. This time, reach the arms forward if you can. Good, find your way back to your crescent lunge. And we'll do that again. Exhale, dip and lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Good, exhale, lower the hands. Frame the foot, step it back, take your chaturanga here, or you can hold plank, or come straight to downward facing dog. Good, big inhale, big exhale. Good, when you're ready, let's take that left leg into the sky. And we'll set up for the other side. Good, knee to nose. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift. One more time, knee to nose. And then step it through, rise, crescent lunge. Good, arms reach overhead. Find your foundation here. Good, let's airplane those arms behind you. Kick off that back foot, coming to your warrior three. Good, we find a little wobbly right now. My left foot's wobbling a little bit. Good, let's gently find the earth behind you. Back to crescent. And then exhale, cactus and bend. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Good, we're gonna come back to that warrior three. This time, reaching the arms forward. Trying to square the hips towards the mat. Gaze is down to protect the neck. Good, find the earth behind you. Come back to crescent. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Two more times. Good, and then exhale, lower the hands. Frame that foot, step it back. Good, take your vinyasa if you like. Lean back and downward facing dog. Good, inhale here. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. One more time, same thing, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Good, inhale, take that right leg back into the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through, rise, crescent lunge. Good, lower the hands to touch a heart center. Tip the torso forward, come back to that twist. Good, we're squeezing the inner thighs towards one another right now. Really utilizing that back leg too. Good. We're going to come into a big transition here. We're going to open up from this twist all the way into warrior two. Good. Setting up your foundation of warrior two. Make sure your right knee isn't caving in, but that it's opening up here. Relax the shoulders down. And then find that focus over those right fingertips. Maybe sink a little bit lower if you can. Good. We're going to reverse the warrior next. Flip that right palm. Back arm can reach around the waist or reach gently for that back leg. Good. From here, we're going to extend our warrior. So lots of options. We can take that right forearm to the thigh, left arm reaches overhead. Or if you want to challenge your strength a little bit more, you can reach both arms forward. Just make sure you're breathing. Good. Inhales, come back to warrior two. So straight into that right leg. We're going to come into triangle pose next. Reach the right fingers forward, tip of the hips. Trying to stack our shoulders here and stack our hips. You find that that left shoulder is caving in. Come up a little bit higher with that right hand. It's going to allow you to open up the chest and get the full benefit of the pose. Good. From here, inhale. We're going to come to five-pointed star. So we're turning our toes to the corners of our mat. Arms are reaching for the corners of the room or the sides of the room. Nice big stretch. And then we'll come to warrior two, facing to the back of the mat. And then we're just going to repeat that sequence on this side here. So right now, let's reverse your warrior. Good. We're trying to get a lot of length here to the left side of the body. Keep that bend in the left knee. Good. Inhales back to warrior two. Let's go ahead and extend the warrior, taking the variation that works for you on this side, knowing it doesn't have to be the same as the other side. Stacking the shoulders. And make sure you're breathing. Good. Inhales, come back to warrior two. And we'll make our way into that triangle pose. Straightening through the left leg, reach the left fingertips forward, tipping at the hips, stacking our shoulders, trying to stack the hips. Take the gaze wherever it feels good on your neck. Good. Keep breathing. Good. Inhales back to warrior two. Come to five-pointed star again. Good. We're going to go ahead and take the hands to the hips and turn the toes so they're slightly pointed in towards one another. We're going to lift up through the chest, lift up through the heart, and then exhale, fold it down, Prasarita. Bring the hands to the floor and just let the head and neck hang heavy. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Releasing some tension there. Good. Let's set ourselves up for a twist here. Place the left hand directly under the nose on the mat or on the floor and bring the right arm into the sky. Gaze can go up that if that feels okay for you. Otherwise, you can keep the gaze down. Good. Exhale. Lower that right hand back to the mat. Set up on the other side. Right hand comes under the nose. Left arm reaches for the sky. Breathe into the twist. These twists are great for just detoxifying the body. Great for digestion. Good. Exhale, release it down. Inhales come to half lift. Exhales to fold. And then walk the hands around to the front of the mat. Frame that front foot. Step the right foot back. And we're going to come into side plank here. So we're going to walk the right hand forward about maybe 5 inches or so and start to stack the hips. Lots of options here. You can lower a foot, you can lower a knee, you can float a leg if you like. Good, if you like to, you can even step one foot back, coming to wilding. Shining the chest towards the ceiling. Good, if you're in wilding, come back to that side plank. And then we'll go ahead and lower the hand, lower the foot, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, we're gonna set up for that side plank on the other side. Let's go ahead and shift the weight forward into plank. This time take the left hand forward. Good, trying to stack hips here. Take the variation that works for you on this side. Good, if you like to take wilding, step that right foot back, reaching the right arm forward. Good, if you're in wilding, come back to side plank. And then exhale, lower it down back to plank. Shift the weight forward. And we're gonna lower to the count of 5, all the way to your belly. Moving forward. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's take the right cheek to the mat. Take the arms long by your side. And just take a moment just to rest here. Hopefully you're feeling pretty warm right now. Just notice the breath. I've got my yoga sidekick next to me. Good. Keep breathing. 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale and exhale. I don't normally practice alongside you guys, so I'm losing breath as I talk. Good. Let's bring the chin to the mat. And we're going to come to a locust pose next. So we're going to really utilize the back body muscles here. When you're ready, we'll lift the chin, lift the shoulders, lift the arms, and lift the legs. Good. Now don't hold the breath here. Keep breathing. See if you can lift maybe an inch. And then exhale, left cheek comes to the floor, looking over to the right side. Let everything go. Good, we're gonna set up for another back bend here. Bring your chin back to the mat or back to the floor and take the arms long in front of you. Thumbs are pointing up towards the sky. Good, from here, we're gonna come to superhero pose. So we're gonna start to lift the hands, lift the arms, lift the feet. Good, and then we're just gonna do a little swimmer's move here. Moving legs and arms up and down. Continue to breathe. Keep breathing. And then exhale, bring the hands under the forehead and just take a rest. Good, we'll do one more sequence here on our belly to strengthen our back. Take one more breath. Exhale, let it go. Good, let's bring those arms long in front of us again. Thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling. Resting the chin to start. Good, on the inhale, come to superhero pose. Good, now come cactus the arms and lift a little higher. Good, one more inhale, locust pose, lift a little higher. And then exhale, right cheek to the mat, lower it down. Good, keep breathing. No, Natalie, stop, please. Good, we're gonna do that one more time. Bring the chin to the mat, arms come long in front of you, thumbs pointing up. Good, on the inhale, lift superhero pose. Good, another inhale, lift cactus. Good, one more locust. And then exhale, left cheek to the mat, good job. Good, let out a nice sigh. And sink a little bit deeper into the mat. Maybe windshield wiper those legs from side to side. Good, let's go ahead and bring the hands back under the shoulders, tuck the toes, and you can either lift up here through tabletop or you can lift up to plank. So push into the arms and lift those hips off the earth. Good, we're gonna do a little bit of core work here. in plank pose. First, we're going to come down to the right forearm and then the left forearm. Good. Come to the left hand and then back to the right hand. Good. This time, left forearm, right hand, left hand. Good. Let's move a little bit here from side to side, switching sides, trying to keep the hips as still as you can. Good. Let's do one more each side. Good. And then exhale, downward facing dog. That feels good. Good. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Good. Let's do one more plank pose. Exactly what you want, I know. Let's shift the weight forward. Coming to our hands here in tall plank. And we're going to step the right foot out and back in. Left foot out, back in. Good. So we're moving from side to side here. Keep breathing. Good. Keep stepping. You've got this. Good. 3 more each side. You got this. Keep breathing. Really working our core muscles. Good. Lower the knees. Take the knees wide. Sit the hips back. Come to child's pose. Good. Slowing down the breath here. Extending some gratitude to your body for all that it can do. So many times we focus on what we can't do, and we focus on our limitations. But if we flip that and look at it in a different way, we realize we can do much more than we can't do. Good. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Good. We're going to come into our hip opener next. Take 1 more full breath. Good. And then we'll go ahead and walk the hands forward. Bring the knees back in. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Good. We're going to come into pigeon here. We'll come to sleeping pigeon. But if you know that that's too much on your knees, you're welcome to do pigeon on your back. And I will show you both. Take the right leg into the sky. Exhale, bring the right knee over to the right wrist, setting up your calf at the top of the mat. And then we'll kind of scooch those left toes back, starting tall here with the upper body. Good, and then when you're ready, if you like, walk the hands forward, finding a place to rest. If you're on pigeon on your back, you're crossing the right ankle over the left leg. And you can reach here, the back of that left leg. You can reach the top of the left leg. Or you can cradle the right leg in the arm and extend the left leg long. This is going to be a much deeper hip opener. So if that does not feel good, just back off and come to one of the other options. Good. I invite you to close your eyes, especially if you're on your back. This is a pose that I often find that my mind starts to wander. It's because I'm not exerting so much physical energy. So I start to think, but see if you can kind of put those thoughts aside and just notice what you're feeling in your body. Notice the breath. What's so beautiful about our yoga practice is that we can really do this anywhere. You really don't even need a mat. Good. If you set an intention at the start of your practice, maybe come back to that intention. And the next inhale, if you're not already on tall arms, let's come back to tall arms. We're going to bend that back knee, reach around with your left hand and grab for the inside of the foot. Seeing if we can get a little quad stretch here. Good. If you've got mermaid pose in your practice today, you're welcome to take that. Or maybe you even just take the right hand off the earth. Find a little balance. Your practice, your chance to kind of explore. Good. Let's go ahead and lower the right hand. Let go of that foot. We're going to tuck the back toes and gently start to lift that right knee into the sky. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Maybe take some circles. Good. If you'd like to flip your dog here, you're welcome to do so. And then exhale, coming back around to three-legged and lowering that right foot back to the mat. And we'll get set up on the other side. If you know you're going to come to your back, you're welcome to go there. Otherwise, inhale that left leg into the sky. Good. Taking the left knee towards the left wrist. Setting up the left leg at the front of the mat and walking those right toes back. Good. Tall arms to start. Sitting up tall with the spine. And then when you're ready, exhale. Walk the hands forward. Rest the head. Good. Stay with the breath here. Check in with the body. Notice what you're feeling. You might notice that this side might be a little bit tighter or maybe a little bit more flexible than the other side. Take 3 more rounds of breath here and see if you can use your exhale as a chance to soften a little bit deeper into the pose. Good. And whenever you finish that third breath, no rush to get there. Take your time. We'll come to hands, tall arms, and we'll take that stretch on the other side, reaching around with the right hand for the inside of that right foot. Good, pulling the heel towards the glute. Maybe testing your balance a little bit, if you'd like. Getting into that quad stretch. And then exhale, release that right foot. Take both hands to the earth, tuck the back toes, gently lift that left leg into the sky, opening up the hip. Take some circles if you'd like. And maybe flip your dog. Good, coming back around to three-legged. Left leg lifts, and then lowering that foot to the mat. Good, take the gaze forward, and then just walk the hands and come down onto your seat. Good, we're gonna set up for a couple seated twists here. So we're gonna go ahead and cross the right leg over the left leg. You can have your left leg extended long on the mat. Otherwise, if you'd like to, you can tuck it in. So just see what feels best for your body. So we're sitting up nice and tall to the spine. Inhale, take that left arm into the sky. We're gonna hook the elbow onto the knee. Back arm comes around as a sort of second spine here to lift us up nice and tall. Take the gaze over that right shoulder. Good, on the inhale, let's unwind. Coming back to center and just simply switch the cross of the legs, setting up for the other side. Inhale, take that right arm into the sky, hook the elbow onto the knee, left hand comes around, sitting up nice and tall. Take the gaze over that left shoulder, maybe close the eyes. Letting go of any distractions around you. The thing about home practice, a lot of times there's more distractions. So we've really got to use the tools that we learn in yoga to kind of shut off those distractions and turn our attention inward. Good, on the inhale, unwind. Go ahead and unwind the legs. Bring the legs long in front of you. We'll take a forward fold first before we make our way onto our backs. Good, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, fold it forward. Release the head and neck. Good, on the inhale, slowly coming back to a tall spine. Take the arms out in front of you. We're spreading the fingers nice and wide, palms facing in towards one another. We're going to engage our belly here, and we're going to lower all the way down to the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you got this, 3, 2, and 1. Let it all go. Beautiful. Let's take the knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around the legs and a little bit of a rock from side to side. Good. Let's come to happy baby here. We'll place the hands on the tops of the feet. Good. You can take some movement here if that feels good. You can even straighten one leg, straighten the other. Maybe you straighten both. Good, we're gonna make our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. And I really invite you to stay for this. I know it's so easy to kind of give up the Shavasana sometimes when you know that you've got distractions around you, or if you've got kids at home. But really, we need this time now more than ever. So if you can, I invite you to stay here with me for just a few more minutes, taking the legs long on the mat, taking the arms wide, just taking up space. If you've got lights turned on in your room, maybe you want to get up and turn those off. Settle into the breath. Coming back to your normal breath, not attempting anything, just breathing freely, just being. The mind starts to wander. Just visualize them as clouds floating by, not attaching, just drifting away. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to bring some awareness back into the body. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Maybe keep the eyes closed for the moment if you can. If it would feel good, take both arms overhead. Take a nice full body stretch, arching the belly towards the sky. Good, bending one knee and then the other. Roll over to your side of choice. Resting here for a moment, resting the head on your arm. And then when you're ready, we'll push into the hands, coming up to a comfortable seated position, sitting up tall with the spine. I invite you to close your eyes here. Tune everything else out. I'm going to read a little passage here from a book called The Book of Awakening. So if you have time to stay with me, I welcome you to do so. It says, an aging Hindu master grew tired of his apprentice complaining, and so one morning sent him for some salt. When the apprentice returned, the master instructed the unhappy young man to put a handful of salt in a glass of water and then to drink it. How does it taste? The master asked. Bitter, said the apprentice. The master chuckled and then asked the young man to take the same handful of salt and put it in the lake. The two walked in silence to the nearby lake, and once the apprentice swirled his handful of salt in the water, the old man said, now drink from the lake. As the water dripped down the young man's chin, the master asked, how does it taste? Fresh, remarked the apprentice. Do you taste the salt? Asked the master. No, said the young man. At this, the master sat beside the serious young man, who reminded him of himself, and took his hands, offering, the pain of life is pure salt, no more, no less. The amount of pain in life remains the same, exactly the same. But the amount of bitterness we taste depends on the container we put the pain in. So when you are in pain, the only thing you can do is to enlarge your sense of things. Stop being a glass, become a lake. Good, let's bring our hands to touch at heart center. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Bring the thumbs to touch at forehead center, gently bowing forward. I thank you for practicing with me and everyone else today. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.